Okay, so this first one is very exciting and something we have been using every day.
Yes.
And it is the Nintendo Switch OLED model with the white Joy-Cons, which is like the newer model that just came out end of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
She's a beaut. These things were hard to come by at the end of the year.
Well, during the pandemic,
Yeah.
before they released this model, it was really hard to get a hold of them. And then they came out with this one, and I don't know, this is like just people on the internet speculating, but it's like that they couldn't make more of the older ones, so they had to find a different screen or a different chip from another company in order to make these because there's scarcity in supplies.
Right.
But that's just, maybe we made that up. Maybe that's a fairy tale.
Maybe.
I don't know. But I'm
Good
so
story.
glad that we waited because I really love the white Joy-Cons versus the red and blue ones, the classic. Because those are cute too.
Right.
But I like, this feels like grown up.
Yeah. It's very grown up.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a cool color. It's just nice, like with the black and white. It's classic color scheme. And the screen is really killer as well. Should we open this up?
Let's see her.
Bloop.
So we got some touchscreen action. It's got this beautiful OLED screen. And if you're unfamiliar with the Nintendo Switch, it is a game console that is for on the go, but also you can plug it into the TV. Now there's also out there the Nintendo Switch Lite that cannot do that. I believe that one's only like handheld.
Only handheld, yeah.
But this one, you can plug it in. It has a little cradle that it comes with that has an HDMI output. You plug that into the TV, and the same game you're playing handheld, you can just bring it in. You don't have to have like a different device or a different save file. It is the game.
Just like that.
I love it.
Me too. Yeah, I've been having some fun, playing a little bit of Zelda here and there.
Yes, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which I think just hit its 5-year anniversary.
Wow, already.
I think so.
That's radical. Yeah, I've just been exploring around. Exploring. There's just so much to do in this game. If you've never seen the map, here's the map. Here's the whole freaking map.
That's so much map.
It's so much map. There's so much to do. So many things to explore, villains to destroy, treasures to hunt, shrines to unlock, and weapons galore.
So before we get too much into the game,
yes,
the Nintendo Switch, if you are unfamiliar with how it works, these things come off and you can play with those separately. So it does come with a handle. Do we have that one up here?
Let me go grab that real fast.
So it comes with a handle that you can plug these into if you like the feel of a classic controller. But that's the joy of this. So this will go into the cradle, or you can just use the kickstand and play it like this on the table. And then you whether you want to play it on the TV or whatever, you have this option. And this comes with it, which was amazing.
Yeah.
I was really worried when we first opened it up that I was like, is it going to have this or not? I don't know. So it has this where you can have a controller with all of the buttons. This is not like powered or anything like that. So if the batteries do get low on the controller, which takes a really long time, I would say.
Yeah, you have to be using it a lot for it to run out of batteries.
Because we both play full-time 2 different games. If I'm not playing, he's playing. We just play a lot.
Yeah.
And those controllers last for days. And then when you want to charge it, you'll just take them off, you'll plug it in here, and you put the whole thing in the cradle, which plugs it into the TV. But this, it's so beautiful. And this looks nicer than most TVs I've ever had. Now we got a new TV, which we'll talk about in today's episode.
We will be very shortly.
This it looks spectacular.
Yeah.
Spectacular. And this is at nighttime in the game. With the controllers, it's got a really good distance to it, depending on what game you're playing, which will show you. The next one is the Ring Fit Adventure on the Nintendo Switch. There's different controllers that you can use the Joy-Cons on that are specific to that game. So with that, the Nintendo Switch is just a really good game console for all ages. Nintendo's always good for all ages, whether you're, I feel like there's a game for everybody.
Definitely.
Like,
yeah.
I don't love fighting games. Like, I will watch a fighting game all day long. Like, if somebody else is playing, I love that. But I don't want to put myself at risk. I can't put myself on the line and my character's on the line.
No, ma'am.
But I do like to watch a game. So those are like, this Legend of Zelda is really good as like a spectator as well. Like as a sidekick kind of participation. But there are tons of games that are low-key, cozy games if you just want to chill, like you like to game, but you're not trying to fight. Like, not all games are hack and slash them.
Yeah, but there's like a really awesome library of games to choose from. Like, for instance, you have Stardew Valley.
I love it.
Like, and that you just purchased directly from
the Nintendo eShop.
From the Nintendo eShop, right.
Which is so great. So you don't have to actually purchase cartridges for most of the games. I feel like the Ring Fit Adventure, you had to purchase a cartridge because it comes with extra tools in order to play the game. But like Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, you could have downloaded that. They just released for the Nintendo Switch on the eShop the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Yeah, and that's another cool thing is like not only do they have current games, but they have old school games as well. One game that I want to download shortly is Resident Evil 4 because I love that game, and that came out on GameCube, and I think it's one of the best.
Is it confirmed on there? Did you look it up?
I've not confirmed.
Okay,
looked
I'm
it
gonna
up.
look it up while you talk about it.
But it's like one of the best Resident Evil video games to ever come out, and I remember just being in college and just like loving playing it. So like that's a game that's definitely more for a mature audience because it's very gory and violent and bloody. But then you've also got looks like it's available.
Yeah, you can get
awesome for $20. What a great deal.
Easy peasy.
Then you've got like your classic, you've got all the Mario games, right? You've got the Zelda games. You've got like those games are so good for families, for anybody from little Jimmy to Grandpa Jimmy.
Oh, yep.
Can play these games.
Yeah, and it's like you download games or programs, apps onto your phone. That same kind of concept, which is new for game consoles or newer for game consoles. So I even had like a Wii U, and you could download games on there, but it still was like felt weird.
Yeah.
I still was like, oh, I want to get the hard copy just because like I feel like that's what I need. But now it makes total sense to just download them because you can also use an SD card, just like you put a micro SD card so you can have infinite space, as many you could put like on one card like tons of games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and this game, the system has, I believe it's 64 gigs.
I believe.
We'll look it up again. Here we go. Yeah, but it has a ton of space, so it's not like you're going to run out of space downloading just a couple games. Like, you'd probably have to be a little bit more worrisome, like with the Wii U, than versus like the...
Yes, those came with 32 gigabytes, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But you could also plug an SD card into there.
Right.
But I believe that they originally came at 32 gigabytes. And if I am wrong, I am so sorry because I went through so much training. I used to be a demo person for Nintendo. So that's why, like, if you hear me say the names of the games, like, I have to say the whole thing. I cannot not. Like, I can't call this game Zelda.
You gotta call it Zelda Breath of the Wild.
It's The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Full name.
Full name.
Dang right.
That's how they taught us to do it.
But yeah, 64 gigabytes of internal storage for this, which means you can store a whole bunch of games. And again, all you have to do is say this was on the TV, and you're like, oh man, I gotta go to that gosh darn DMV.
I took this to the DMV. I didn't have time to play with it, but I took it. I was prepared.
All you gotta do is slide your controllers onto here, like so. Put down the kickstand, and then boom, you're ready to take this on the go with you.
It's so good. The audio is really good on this. The picture is really good. It's like a 7-inch screen, so I believe that it's like the bevel is a little bit less than the previous model.
The bezel.
The bezel, not the bevel. The bezel.
Yeah.
The outline, the border, I think it's a little bit smaller. I think you get more viewing space.
Yeah.
The stand that's in the back is bigger and better than the previous models. I think the previous models just had like a small little kickstand. Now this one is like the full panel in the back, so it's just less, it's sturdier.
Yeah. And it can like pretty much go, you could lay it almost pretty flat with the stand.
Which is so smart because
Yeah.
like if you're playing it like the way that we're sitting, you want to be able to have it flatter if you're looking down, but if it's like in front of you, then you want to tilt it up a little bit more. So you can find the best angle for you and your buddy. There are some like 2-player games that I know you could lay this flat on the table and
Right.
it'd be like a little like game board situation. We don't have one of those yet, but we should find one of those. That'll be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Because each of these become their own controller. So you have one controller here, and the other controller there, and there's like
See,
a
we
little.
got like buttons all around it.
Oh yeah, let me grab those little bits so we can show that.
So you have like just all the buttons that you would need to play the games, and it comes with like a little cover that you can. It has like a little wrist strap on it, but these buttons are active also right now, as is.
Yeah. So these. Sorry, I was unprepared.
Oh no, that's okay. I just went off on like what we're gonna talk about. It's upside down.
It is upside
You want to
down.
match the minus and the minus and the plus and the plus.
Yep.
But it does come off. I've done it so many times where I put it on wrong.
There we go.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now you've got these little controllers for playing like your Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that.
Yeah, any kind of co-op or fighting games. Now you've got 2 controllers.
Yes, and then speaking of like multiplayer co-op kind of games, it does have a built-in wired port for the internet. So when you want to go play online, like it can connect to Wi-Fi. But of course, like with live streaming, with anything where you're trying to connect with other people, if you can hardwire it, please hire it.
Yeah.
or wire it.
Yeah.
Because it just makes everything easier, especially like you're in that gameplay. You don't want to be like in the middle of it and then the Wi-Fi, gets weird because everybody else is watching Amazon Live, and they took up all of the space.
Curses.
The audio on it is enhanced versus the earlier versions as well, and so it's in tabletop and handheld mode. So I guess there's like 2 different, like the way that the speakers were designed is so they would work well either flat or as you're holding it. And the sound is really good.
Yeah.
But of course, like when you have it plugged into the TV through HDMI, you're not listening through here. It feeds it through the TV, which is so good. You got our TV mode, you got tabletop mode, and then you got handheld mode. Like this really just has everything.
Yeah. It's like a really good, complete system for 1 person or for 2-player. For us, like we just really love to like switch off. Like
we switch off.
Just our 1-player adventures, and just kind of each take turns playing single player stuff. But we should definitely get some co-op games so we can show off the dual controller systems. Oh no, I'm getting attacked. Ah!
Yeah, so if you are at all interested in like big exploratory games, this one is excellent.
Oh yeah.
Stardew Valley, that I play is like a farming simulation kind of game. It's like really just cute and like feels old school, but it's not that old. But it's just like the design, the look of it is old school, and it's like an infinite game that like you don't die. There's no end. You just kind of play and explore and like grow strawberries, and it's a good time.
Yeah. Live your entrepreneurial lifestyle, right?
Yes, seriously. So like I will work all day doing live streams and doing content and like running our business. And then like at the end of the day, I'm like, ooh, I cannot wait to play my game, which is just running another business. Like an imaginary business. I was like, I think I have a problem.
It's a good problem to have.
It is a good problem to have.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.